All right, hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning into this brand new little series we're gonna do at Reedin called Reedin Talks. We're gonna talk about different subjects, so if you have any suggestions to us, please leave a comment below. That would be very, very cool. Our first subject is talking about line length, 24-meter lines versus 12-meter lines. I've been, of course, riding a lot more 24-meter lines compared to 12-meter lines, but I definitely do a lot of sessions lately riding 12-meter lines, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And next to me is Damien, and I want to have a little discussion with you about...
Yeah, I played a lot with every single size over the years. I think when the very beginning of kiting, there was like people were riding between 25 and 30-meter lines. And then we started playing with shorter, and you know, I went as far as like 8 meters.
8?
Yeah.
You can basically touch your kite.
Pretty much, but the feeling, you know, what I really like about short lines is how connected you are to your kite.
Yeah, it definitely feels super quick, huh?
Yeah, instead of jumping and being like, kind of like swinging around, you're kind of like flying with your kite.
Yeah.
You know, like you feel like you're moving with it. So it's such a different feeling.
For sure.
You know, there's a limit. I think 8 meters is really technical. Your kite's on the water all the time when you're on 8 meters, but 12 meters is a good balance to me, where like you can still steer it and you have a lot of fun.
But it is still quick though. Like every time your whole timing with shorter lines is way off, because you have, you know, your length of your lines is a lot shorter. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like everybody's saying, oh yeah, short line, my kite's turning faster. Your kite's not turning faster. Because how fast your kite's turning is depending on the shape of your kite, the input you get on your bar. What's different is your flying window is really short. So distance from like left to right is an instant versus 24-meter lines when it goes through.
So yeah, with the longer lines, it takes a longer time to go through the window. So because that's definitely what I like. If I go in 12-meter lines, it definitely feels like, you know, the kite is all over the place, and it's like your timing almost needs to, it becomes different, right?
It's more
like,
hectic.
Yeah, it's like whoa, whoa, whoa. But once you get used to it, I think it opens up.
Yeah,
I think it opens up a lot of doors.
Yeah, like for me, for example, I feel like short lines, there's two things I really love. Is like how even if it's super choppy, sometimes it's hard to line up with 24s to get a good jump. Yeah, I know you can, because you know, but not everybody's you. And for me, like the 12-meter lines means there's a chop right here. I send my kite and instantly, boom, it's there. Yeah. So then a lot of people are gonna say it's harder to jump high, because if you just leave the kite and you slowly go to one side, like, kind of like what you do for your biggest jump, when you got your hand in the middle of the bar and you're slowly steering it, that's not gonna work on short lines, because no matter what, it's there.
The kite is gonna.
So what you do on short lines, you go back, force. Sometimes you can do like 3 or 4 times, and every time you feel like you're going higher. So I had some of my biggest jump on like 16s or 12-meter lines sometimes, just because I was like going up. Yeah,
for me, it's definitely the timing wise is the biggest thing for me. Like it's not like the first time for me when the first time I rode it on the twin or even on the foil, you know. Yeah. In light wind on the foil, you know, you're used to sending your kite down, then it, you know, gives you power and then you're up and going. But if it's really, really light and you're in 12-meter lines on your foil, you really have to work the kite, and it's kind of throwing you, and you know, up and down.
And I guess that's one thing though. Some people think that you can hold more power, or your kite's less powerful when you get short line, and really it's not. Like if it's windy and you're overpowered, you're not gonna get less overpowered if you put short lines. Yeah. But definitely if you're underpowered, you're gonna be more underpowered with short lines. Yeah. So there's a big negative to going to short lines. So you definitely, in my eyes, you want to be on short lines when you're actually powered up, not when it's a light session.
Yeah, because that's the problem. I've had a couple times where I went with too short of a lines and too light of a wind, and then, you know, every time you move your kite throughout the whole window, your whole body starts. My chair is very squeaky. Is it annoying? No, but I think on the overall, and even I've tried it wave riding as well. I thought wave riding with 12-meter lines, depending on the wind direction, like if it's a slightly offshore, you don't move the kite too much, it's doable.
But once it makes it easier in offshore, because sometimes, if I'm talking like here, sometimes we have like super offshore.
We're in Maui, by the way.
Yeah, we're in Maui. And then the wind gets Kona winds, and it's blowing like almost 75 degrees out. Yeah. So you cannot really move your kite. You're just steering it, and all you're trying to do is bring your kite back forward. So when you do a bottom turn on short lines, and you're just letting it drift, if you got a longer line, it drifts further out. Yeah. So when you do a top turn, it takes more time to bring it back forward. But if you're on 12s, you do your top turn and the kite comes back really quick forward.
Yeah, but then
but that's a niche.
Yeah, niche conditions. Like most of the conditions you get, like side onshore,
Right, yeah,
and then for 12-meter lines.
It makes it technical.
Because once,
sure.
yeah, it's super technical. Because if you have short lines, you go under your kite very quickly, right? If you have longer lines, there's way more movement here, so you can make more of a mistake.
If you like moving your kite a lot when you ride waves, though, like I do, maybe 12 is, you know, a little technical, but the good thing is you can do some super short turns because you send your kite back and forth so fast. But it definitely is more technical. And then the strapless jumping on short lines is really hard.
Yeah.
In my eyes, I don't know how to jump and do a big jump strapless on short lines because
and I think it's very personal. Like I do not like to ride waves in 12-meter lines.
No, for sure. But for twin tip riding, I think one thing where like short lines are really shining is if you start throwing kite loops. You know, you go same wind, same bar input, you do a kite loop on 24-meter lines, and most people, you know, except for like the pros like you guys, and I mean like you and other guys, is we do a kite loop and the kite's up in the air and we land and we're like, wow, I did a kite loop, but it was nothing that exciting. If you're on short lines, kite's gonna start from lower, but it's also gonna go lower, and there's most likely on 12-meter lines, everybody can do a kite loop where it goes at least to the height of his kite.
Yeah.
And if you're good enough, you go higher than your kite. And those kite loops are just mind-blowing because they're scary, but they're so much more fun. You get such a boost.
I definitely like riding 12-meter and trying like those low kite loops.
Right.
But it's more of, you know, getting that kite. It's easier to get that kite lower, you know. But like if I look at, I would never ever ride the King of the Air with 12-meter lines. Like never.
Don't ever say never. You never know.
Okay, I will never. But it's pretty unlikely. But because with longer lines, you have a lot more air time.
Sure.
You fly a lot further.
Yep.
But like with shorter lines, I find like if you jump, it like accelerates you up like crazy. But with 24-meter lines, it takes you up and it glides you a lot further.
But if you're looking just at the sickest kite loop in your life, you know, if you're like not like you and the guys riding King of the Air or like the Mega Loop Challenge, and you have the courage to go 20-meter high, and then you have the courage to send your kite loop. Yeah, you're gonna be 20-meter. Your kite's gonna go 5-6 meters below you. That's gonna be scary. But if you're high enough, you're gonna land it, and you're gonna have the sickest. At least the sickest photo of your life, and that's that's the thing, you know. Like also, if you want the bragging rights, 12-meter lines give you better bragging rights for the picture of the
yeah, for sure. And it's definitely a cool feeling to have. And it's you know, it's not gonna replace 24-meter lines.
No,
you know? I think
sure.
it's just like for me, from the 10 sessions maybe from the 10 sessions I do, you know, 9 on 24-meter lines. And I do one session on 12.
That's a good
But
ratio.
you know, especially having the option on the Dreamstick X to be able to use the same bar and basically just, I could show up on the beach and I'm like, okay, today is that day where I want to ride those 12-meter lines. I can, within 5 to 8 minutes, I can fold my lines, boom, I have 12-meter lines.
Right. And you still have a leash working. That's the key on that bar.
The whole function of the bar is exactly the same. You know, safety works.
That's the beauty. It's like you don't need to buy another bar. You don't need to buy another set of lines.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we were saying earlier, like how, but no one really rides 12 meters. Like no one wants to spend money to buy extra set of line or extra bar just for 12 meters. Like for you said it's 10% of your session.
Yeah. To buy
I
a
feel
whole
like it's
bar
a lot already. 10% of your session.
Maybe it's even less. Maybe it's one session out of 20.
Exactly.
You know?
And then in that case, you don't want to, you know, buy a bar just for that. But with the
option,
you fold the lines, boom, and you get short lines, and you put them back at 24. You can even, if you remove the extension, you go from 22 to actually 11. So you got even shorter if you know.
And I think having a bar like that with so many options is really cool. You know, I think it really, because I think the one person likes 24-meter lines, the other person likes 22-meter lines, and some people like to go even way shorter. And I think having a bar that has all these options is, you know, just adds to being able to find that feeling you want to get on the water. And that's just...
And it depends on the day again, you know, like if it's 35 knots, you go short lines. If it's 20, you never
go longer lines.
And then the other thing too, like touching on short lines, is I think I would never go 12-meter lines on a kite any bigger than 9. You know, when a kite gets bigger, everything is too close, too bulky. So there's And again, it comes down to like, it needs to be really windy to be fun on short lines. Unless you're foiling, and that's different. You're looking for a close setup.
Have you ever tried kiting with just holding your wingtips? With no lines?
Yeah.
Have you?
It's called winging.
It's called winging. I wonder, we should try that. I want to try that. I've never tried it.
Yeah, we should try it.
I'm sure it's possible,
we should
right?
hold it by the center strut and make it a little...
Oh, make little handles on it?
Put handles on it.
Yeah.
Take one to something
That's
here.
pretty good. Yeah, no, I wonder if that's possible. Maybe we should try that in the next video. We will do the video that explains you how to fold the lines will be up here, or we'll put it somewhere in the description also, so it'll be easy for you to find, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later for the next Reedin Talks. And don't forget to leave a comment below to, you know, let us know what we need to talk about, or
Questions, yeah.
Have questions. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Later.